Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be setting up our monthly layouts for the month of December. And I've got these washi tapes here ready to go, as well as the sticker books I may use. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay down some wax paper and get started on the spread. This month I, of course, wanted to do a seasonal theme. I do like to do the seasonal style themes here in the monthly. And I went back through all of my holiday books and found a good one from last year that I picked up from Michael's. It had a bunch of kind of floral, Christmas holiday floral looking elements. And then in Plannything and in Happy Planner, I think I can pull in a few other items just to jazz things up a bit. I'm actually starting off just trying to see what quotes I might work in here from the Happy Planner book. The book I'm pulling from is the Merry and Bright sticker book. Came out maybe 2 Christmases ago. I have it both in a mini and a regular size, classic size book. So I don't know which one I'll be pulling from here, but we'll see how it all works out. The main decor is going to come from the Recollections book I mentioned before that I got at Michael's last year. I haven't seen anything similar this year from Michael's. They have kind of changed their structure a little bit, but if you guys see anything come out, let me know in the comments below. I was really surprised with how good these books were last year, and usually I'm not too thrilled with the Michael's brand sticker books. But this one, and there was another one, I think Peppermint Stripe was the theme on that one, and both of those were really good last year, so this one was my favorite though. I just kind of liked how it had a lot of brown tones in it that could really go for November spreads as well as, December spreads. But anyway, so I'm in there and I have all these florals that I've started to collect here in the corner in a wreath pattern just to just kind of see how they meld together. And I'm liking how that looks. I'm also in the Plannything sticker book. I think this one is the Christmas, let me see if I can see the cover. The Christmas Vibes, maybe? Christmas Fun? Christmas Fun, okay. The Christmas Fun book. And it has these really cute ornament, kind of like colorful box stickers, like but ornament shaped. So really cute. And I thought I'd bring those in. They have just the right red to match up with these florals. And then I brought some washi tape into the mix as well, just in case I needed a little extra something to jazz things up here a bit. And the washi tape I'm using right now is from the washi tape shop. I really love that washi. Try to sneak it in wherever I can in my spreads. It's really a really good roll and just pretty elegant, just really matches up well with lots of things. So I pulled in this Merry and Bright quote from the Merry and Bright sticker book, and it is gold. And so I really love this quote, but I'm not sure about the gold. I don't know if I really want to have that in here, but I thought if I could bring it in other ways through maybe some washi, that I might like it a little bit better. So I pulled some gold washi from my stash and trying things out. So I looked at it and I just really wasn't feeling the gold, unfortunately. I really think it might have been a nice classy look, but I just wasn't in the mood for the foils. I just wanted it to be more about the color and went back to my original idea, which was some of these quotes here from the Happy Planner books. But I'm struggling a little bit with color and style because I do like my fonts and things to match up. I don't like to mix and match fonts too much on my spreads. So just trying to find the right vibe with the font and the colors that I want is a little bit tricky. I'm going to go ahead and cut up this tree sticker here and pull out a few things that maybe will match up a little better, and then use those on the individual days here. So I have one that I just pulled out for a Christmas marker, And next to that, the Believe, since it has the right shade of green to go with everything. I decided to grab out this bigger Good Tidings quote for a second, but the red was a little too brown, and I just didn't like that, even though I liked having that bigger quote there. So we'll go back to the original one I pulled, that smaller green version, and see if I can work that in. Now just trying out some different washi tapes. Again, just add a little bit of extra color here on the spread. And I had some green washi that was already pre-cut down, and I thought I'd try that out because I really liked actually this smaller, thinner profile there of the green. So we'll see if I can work that in. And again, trying out some other options. Back to the decor here. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to do past that corner with the larger floral, so I started to piece together maybe some wreath shapes, some hanging, what do they call that, boughs, you know, when they basically garland, when you put it across your banister for the holidays, that kind of thing, or on the walls. I thought maybe I could recreate that with the shapes of these smaller floral leaves, and am working those in right now. I did have to do a little bit of sticker surgery there to get some of these to fit the bill, but there was a natural curve to most of these that worked out well for the shape. And I'm really liking this, but there's a couple of hanging elements here that I'm not sure really sell that whole rounded wreath look, or even a, you know, similar, like a larger version of the garland next to it. So I'm trying to work out how to make that look a little bit better. And what I decided to do is actually trim off one of the hanging elements on this guy, just to clean it up a little bit, keep that more circular shape. I think that looks a lot better. And then the one that's hanging into the month there next to Good Tidings, I think I'll just try to work in around the quote. So we'll leave that for now. And then we will take this smaller guy out. It's like a sticker that doesn't quite match any of the others. Has a little bit of a different feel to it, so I thought I'd put it at the bottom, but maybe I will save it and do something else with some of the remaining florals that I have left over down here at the bottom. And I really like this one. It's got the apple piece with it, but I think I just want to stick with the florals. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it down and try to trim out the apple. I did an okay job there, but it looks a little bit weird now. So we'll see if I can make it look a little better somehow. Maybe I'll trim it off or do something else. I'm not real sure yet. I did have an extra leaf that I thought I might try. See if that works. I'm going back to the washi. I'm going to go ahead and cut down another strip. Just cut it in half and use that really skinny strip, which I think is nice because, again, I use these spreads for memory keeping. I mention that a lot. So I just write down what originally started out as a memory a day, which turned into a summary of the day, which, you know, it's good. It's good to kind of see how everything went. But I started that just because I have pretty routine lifestyle, so it's nice to differentiate the days from each other. And I really wasn't utilizing my monthly layout very well, my planner, before then. So I thought that was a good way to get some use out of these spreads and make it functional for me, even though, I mean, I'm not really using it for planning. It's just a way to kind of remember and look back on my days. So anyway, I need all of the space that is there on each of the days as much as possible. So the skinnier washi really works out well. This keeps it low profile, so I still have plenty of room to write. Some of these other little areas that I'm taking up, like with the Christmas and things, I feel like the highlights of those can be a little bit smaller, so I'm not as worried about that. You know, you just work around what's there, but I just don't want to take up any single day where I can't actually even use the day, if you know what I mean. Definitely want to have ample room to write in some content. So I'm really trying to rework this quote up here. I have put in some washi down at the bottom that I'm thinking will stay with some, just some nice lines there that I think look good with this spread. Kind of give a little bit of pattern to what's a not too patterned spread. And finally, I think happy with the amount of items there in the corner next to Christmas and that little floral cluster. Decided to pull back on the script washi even though I love it, just because I wasn't really feeling a good balance with it, so we'll save that for another time. And now we'll start dropping things in. I'm going to work in this washi here at the bottom. I'm just going to line it up where I think it is on the page. My inserts I cut by hand, so sometimes they're not exactly even. I wanted to make sure that these were placed almost in the exact same spot as the opposite side. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it and then replace it here on the right page. This one has a little less space at the bottom, so the black line is actually showing through, whereas the other side is covered by one of the darker red lines. So I'm just going to white out that line so it looks a little cleaner down here. And then I'm going to trim off the edge. I kind of feel like I should have done a little something different there, just because it's really apparent once I trim the edge that it's not really perfectly straight across the bottom. Maybe I should have lifted everything up a little bit into the white more so you really wouldn't be able to tell, but I still like how it finishes out the bottom of the spread. So we'll start moving things over into the interior. I'm going to lay in the washi. Kind of took a little bit of a alternate route here when I laid in the washi. Before, things were staggered a bit more, and when I started laying it down on the sheet, I ended up aligning everything to the edge. I think it works. It's different though than what I had on the wax paper, so just an FYI. I didn't really do it on purpose, but I realized what I was doing a little too late, so then I just went with it. And now I'm going to go ahead and lay in this little floral cluster, just whitening out behind the floral where the black line is, just to make it a little bit cleaner. And then decided just to do the full area behind the floral, again just to make it look a little cleaner behind there. I did that mainly because I was already overlapping the washi tape at the bottom, so it was just a little bit too busy looking with the line showing through the back of the clear sticker. Of course, I've trimmed it, and we'll try to reuse the trimmings to make things look just a little bit fuller here. That looks good. Moving on to the sidebar and this area here at the top. I'm going to go ahead and do all the whiting out of the lines now. I use a Sakura Jelly Roll white pen for this. The size tip I use is the 10 or the 1.0 tip. It's a really good width, I think, of tip for coverage on fine lines, especially on my printables. Not sure how it will work on other planners, but if the lines are fine enough, I mean, it's a really, pretty easy thing to white them out with just that pen alone. I really like that. It just is a lot less messy than trying to do a dry line. Dry line has its place, but I like that pen as a tool for just getting rid of some smaller areas and fine lines. So I've laid in the bigger set of florals there, and now I am going to work into the sidebar. I'm going to drop in the ornaments now. I'm going to do a nice little string line on a couple of these. I'm going to try to really do this little one at the top too, but it kind of gets lost behind the floral, so and I was like, okay, we'll just leave it like that then. With the other two, I have some strings holding them up at least so they look like they're hanging down. And I just used a Pigma Micron for that in a very skinny tip. I think it's a 101 tip. It's getting rid of the things that I don't think I'm going to need and pulling in a few of the trimmings here just to, again, make things look a little bit fuller. Really like to do that where I can. And really getting some tiny little sticker surgery items in here. I like to use everything that I can, especially when it's like florals like this. Really just enhances the fullness of a spread, so I do try to use up all the elements. I'm going to go ahead and drop in the first of these garland boughs. And then I did kind of adjust things a little bit when I set these in, so I shorted myself a little bit here on the left page. But I did have some trimmings ready to go, so we'll go ahead and work those in and try to complete the element there with those. And I set that in, but it's not quite the right angle, so we'll try to figure out how to work that properly. I think if I trim this down, I can make it work. And add in a few more little pieces that I had there on the spread, again to kind of fill it out. I think that is looking good. And then I remembered I had these corners in the book, the Recollections book that I got from Michaels. I thought would be a good addition, so I'll try to work those in now. I went ahead and trimmed out the top pieces, and again try to reuse any clippings. And I will take this guy out so that I could put in a corner up here as well. There was only 2 of these in the dark green. I would have liked to do all 4 corners if I had had it, but since I didn't, and I looked through the whole book trying to find them, I just went ahead and left the 2 because I had that washi tape strip all across the bottom. And I thought maybe I could use the lighter ones, but I feel like they didn't quite go as well. And just seeing if there's anything else I want to pull in from this set of stickers. Beef things up a little bit more. Do some trimming. And then I'll need to clean out the holes just at the top there. And once I am done with that, you guys, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!